Hey guys, welcome to another Damilola Forex Academy video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a full price action breakdown of GBPJPY and GBPUSD. I'm going to be showing you all how to follow a simple stepwise price action driven trading system to achieve very big results in the Forex market. So I want you all to sit, grab a pen, grab a book, and take note of every single thing I'm going to be talking about and how I am able to use a top-down multi-time frame analysis to make huge profits in the Forex market. So let's go, guys, on a full technical analysis. I just launched the Signal channel, guys, and the aim is to make every single person earn side by side with me. For every single trade I'm going to be entering, I'm going to be sending the signal out, sending the stop loss, the take profit, and everybody's going to earn at the same time while I'm earning. And I also decided to make it very affordable. It's only $50, so you all go and register with the link in the description below right now to join my Signal channel. It's not going to be $50 for long, so go to the link in the description and take this opportunity right now. See you on the Signal platform. Process, and we know that what we start from the monthly time frame. Okay, I've never started from a time frame that is not a monthly. So, and it's a beautiful stepwise process. Okay, start from the monthly time frame as usual, and starting from the monthly time frame, we know that what our first job is what locate the real time point where price is at. So, like I said, it's a stepwise process that has to be followed. First of all, start on the monthly time frame. Then what? Circle out where prices is at, the real time area. Then what? The next thing is understand the structures that took prices there. Okay, in this case, what are the structures that took prices there? We can see that the structures are of what? Clear bullish structure of push exhaustion, push exhaustion, push exhaustion. And in the context of these fractals, this is the last higher low as we know, then push. How do you measure fractals? Fractals are measured by the length of their exhaustion. We know that what this length of this exhaustion, there is no exhaustion here that shares equal or even more pips in terms of length. So we know that what this is the last higher low here. So we know that what eventually when prices breaks this higher low, then we'll say price has broken into that fractal. Okay, but right now we know that what our trading opportunity will be within this window of smaller fractals. Like I said, eventually when prices break, we say, oh, price has broken into that fractal. It opens the opportunity to this place. It's our job to now determine if we will trade a retracement or if we trade a direction, or at least there's an opportunity. So, but right now, our current window shows that what we'll trade within this frame, this window of smaller fractals. Okay, so now we'll take that window, that is this low here, this high, we'll take it to the weekly time frame. Okay, so now the weekly time frame, this is the window here, the same thing. We'll go ahead again, identify the structures, push exhaustion, went from small fractals now to establishing a bigger fractal here. Okay, that is, it's okay 100% to go from small to big fractals. Okay, oh, sorry about that. It's okay to go from small to big fractals, just like we know. Okay, so some people just joined, so let me just take it again from the beginning because of people that just joined. Okay, I was saying that it's important that when it comes to trading that we all follow this stepwise process. Okay, I'm going to be doing a full breakdown of GBPJPY. I'm also going to be doing a full breakdown of GBPUSD. Okay, so it's important that what we follow this stepwise process. Like I said, this is the stepwise process I'm going to follow in January. If you see me trading in December again, I'm going to follow the same stepwise process. So what I'm trying to tell you is that what we have an organized system of doing things. Okay, it's an organized trading system. So the way I trade in August is the same way I'm going to trade. It doesn't matter the trading session, if it's summer, winter, it doesn't matter the time of the day. None of those things matter. As what as our job is what we have this price action driven trading system, and we just go ahead and follow it, you know, follow this stepwise process. So the first thing is what, on any pair, come to the monthly time frame. The next thing is what, identify the real time point where price is at. Then after identifying it, our job is what? What is the structure that took prices there? Okay, so in this case, we saw that what? The structure that took prices to the real-time points are clear structures of higher highs and higher lows, right here. Okay, within the context of these fractals. Remember, fractals are measured by the length of your exhaustion. Okay, if you bring it from the top here to the bottom, this is what? This is 1,657 pips. There is no exhaustion in front again that has that 1,600 plus pips. Okay, so that means that well, within the context of these fractals, push exhaustion. Within the context of this fractal, this is the last higher low. Okay, so that means that what? For prices to for we to have a trade opportunity beyond this place, for we to have a trade opportunity beyond here, that means that prices have to break below. Okay, and what? A break below will now open our window of opportunity between this level. You know, it has to open the window of opportunity between this level and this level. So we open that window of opportunity that, okay, I can sell. It's now my job to determine if I'm selling for a retracement or I'm selling for a direction. Okay, but right now, within the context of our current opportunity, this is our current tradable area here. We're going to trade within smaller fractals. Okay, so within the context of big fractals, this is the last higher low. So all of these ones here are small fractals. So our trade opportunity is going to be between the context of these fractals. Okay, that means that what? Any break of structure, any opportunity within the context of these fractals, I cannot go beyond here. This is where it stops. Okay, so in that case, we'll take this low and this high, where our current trade opportunity will be, we'll take it to the weekly time frame. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, this is the low and this is the high. Okay, so this is the movement: push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion, push. Within the context of these fractals, these are clear structures of higher highs and higher lows within the context of this fractal. So now the monthly has shown us that what? Prices on clear bullish structures. The weekly has also shown us that what? Prices on clear bullish structures. So now within the context of these fractals, remember that what? Prices went from small fractals. Okay, these are small fractals. Prices went from small fractals, then established a bigger fractal here. So within the context of this big fractal, this is the last higher low. After this higher low, all of these are baby fractals. All these are smaller fractals. So any opportunity here cannot go beyond here. Of course, we know that we have to determine if what? If it's a retracement or if it's in the direction. Okay, so now within the context of this fractal, this is the last higher low. This means that what? Our current trade opportunity will be between this low and this high. Okay, this way our current trade opportunity will be within the context of smaller fractals. Okay, so we'll take our tradable area down to the daily time frame. Okay. Okay, so in the daily time frame, this is the low and this is the high that we identified on the weekly time frame. Okay, so we'll go from small fractals again to establishing big fractals. Push, exhaustion. Within the context of these fractals, this is the last higher low. Okay, within the context of these fractals. So now we know that what? Eventually, when prices breaks this low here, then we'll say that what? Prices has broken into that fractal. When prices breaks the low, we'll say price has broken into that fractal. Okay, but before prices breaks the low, our current trade opportunity will be between this low and this high. This is where our current trade opportunity is going to be before prices breaks the low. Okay, of course, we know that what? This is not an higher low yet until prices has an higher high. So if price makes push, exhaustion, this is not an higher low yet until there's an higher high. Okay, if prices comes here, this is not an higher low yet until there's an higher high. An higher high is what establishes this as an higher low. Okay, so that's important. So within the context of our fractals, let's go again. Prices went push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion. This is the last higher low here, and our trade opportunity is going to be between this box here within what? Smaller fractals. Within smaller fractals is going to be our trade opportunity. Okay, so we'll take this box here. We'll take this box here, the low and the high. We'll take this to the 4 hours time frame. Okay, so this is the 4 hours time frame. So on the 4 hours time frame, we saw prices make what? Push, exhaustion. We saw prices go again, make push, exhaustion. Then prices came to this level here. All of these levels here are the 100.0 level. So within the context of this big fractal, all of these are push. Then prices came down to the 100.0 zone here and even broke the higher low right here. Okay, this candlestick that closed below, it broke the higher low. Okay, so let's identify where the break of the higher low pinpoints happened. The break of the higher low happened around here. Okay, so within the context of these fractals, this is push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion. All of these are push. This is not an higher low because it never had an higher high. So all of these are push within the context of the fractals. Then prices came down to the 100.0 zone right here and broke the structure. Now, when the break of structure happens, we know that what? Okay, there's been a break of structure. There could be a sell opportunity here. So now, in that case, what are we going to do? We'll bring our Fibonacci out from the low to the high points. Okay, so from the low to the high points, we can see prices what? We can see that where the break of structure happened, this is push exhaustion, push exhaustion. This is where the break of structure happened. Okay, then all of this were push, then this was the break of structure. So we can see that what? Where the break of structure happened is a 50.0 Fibonacci zone. Okay, and what makes this 50.0 zone significant at this point is because what? There's presence of support. This is a support level here. So even though prices broke this higher low, the presence of this support can still affect it. Okay, so there are presence of support zones here. This is support, this is support. Okay, so it has made us know that what? This 50.0 zone is these prices can reject and go back at this 50.0 zone. Of course, we know that what? If we're selling, it is a retracement, because from the monthly to the daily has shown us that what? Price is bullish. So if we're selling on the 4 hours, we know it's a retracement. So when the break of structure happened, prices could not go beyond the 50.0 zone because what? 50.0 is also a reversal area when there are presence of support around or presence of resistance around the 50.0 zone. It becomes a reversal area. Okay, so now in that case, price decided that what? It would not go beyond 50.0, and it decided that what? It will turn 50.0 to the key reversal area to start going up. Okay, so at that point, what are we going to do? We are going to identify the structures that brought prices from here to this key reversal area here that has a support right here at 50.0, and what? Identify the structures that brought it down. A break of the structures, any of the structure that brought it down, a break of any of the structure, I'll buy to 100.0 of the broken fractal. Okay, so now within the context of that structure, this is push, exhaustion. This is the last higher low within the context of this fractal. Price has to break this higher low to give a trade opportunity to this place. Okay, so this means that what? Within the context of smaller fractals, I will take this high here and this low here to the 30 minutes time frame to look for a trade opportunity within this window. Eventually, when prices breaks the high, then prices can go to 100.0 here of that bigger structure, because that's the last higher low in the context of that fractal. So we'll take this low here and this high, this window here, to the 30 minutes. You can take to the 1 hour also if you please. You can take it to the 1 hour, the 30 minutes. That's where those are the time frames I go to look for what? An entry. Okay, so we'll take that window to the 30 minutes time frame. Okay, this is the window right here. This is the high and this is the low. Okay, so now within the context of big fractals right now, this is what? All of this here are push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion. Prices went from small fractals to big fractals, and even established bigger fractal here, push, exhaustion. So within the context of this big fractal here, this was the last lower high. So within the context of these big fractals, all of these are push. Okay, then this is a break of structure here within the context of these big fractals. So now a break of structure has happened, which means that price is coming to the 100.0 right here. This is take profits. Okay, so we know that what? When a break of structure happens, we have 3 variations of entry. One is what? Break of structure happens, buy pain points, put your stop loss at the low. Okay, and buy to the top. Let's see the risk reward together. If we are buying here, we'll buy at this point with a low at this point of about 173 pips, with a take profit at the high here of about 148 pips. Okay, so that means that what? Entering using what? Entry variation 1 will give you a negative risk reward. And we know that what? Entering a trade and having a negative risk reward is against our rules. We must have at least 1:1. So in that case, what we do? we'll bring our Fibonacci from the lowest point right here to the highest point right here. Okay, we'll bring our Fibonacci from the lowest point to the highest point to get what? Entry variation 2 at what? At 61.8. Okay, remember that what? In the context of these fractals, all of these are push. So this is the break of structure. So for us to enter, I'll bring our Fibonacci from the low point to the high point of the rejection and allow prices to come to 61.8, and we'll buy pinpoint at 61.8 using entry variation 2, put stop loss at the low, then buy to the high. If we are doing that at 61.8 right here, our stop loss will be at the low of about 76 pips, and our take profit will be at the high of about 241 pips. So on this trade, we should get like a 1:3 risk reward. Just having patience and waiting for entry variation 2. So this is the trade that we're going to be looking at on GBPJPY for this week. We are going to patiently allow prices to go to entry variation 2, and at entry variation 2, we are going to strike in our entry at entry variation 2. Okay, so also I did a breakdown of some of the opportunities that we got in yesterday. Last week. Okay, so what were the opportunities? Okay, these opportunities are within smaller fractals. Okay, remember that what? In context of big fractals, these are push, exhaustion, then prices came, made the push, made the exhaustion, then this was what? The last lower high within the context of big fractals. But now within the context of smaller fractals, prices started by making what? Push, exhaustion. Then price eventually came again, made what? Push, exhaustion. Then at this high here, after this high, we're going to come back to that. After this high, prices started by making what? Smaller fractal. That is, there's no exhaustion that has this amount of length in pips as any of these ones in front. So within the context of this fractal, this is the last lower high within the context of this fractal. So price started on smaller fractals here of push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion. Within the context of this particular fractal, this is the last lower high here. Okay, why did I not take this as push, exhaustion? Because these ones are smaller fractals. If we are to measure it in pips, this is from the high to the low, 53 pips. Then this is from the high to the low, 43 pips. Okay, so this is what? Push, exhaustion. Within the context of these fractals, this is the last lower high here. Then all of these are push. Then this was the break of structure. Okay, a break of structure here. Remember that what? Prices is rejecting at a 50.0 Fibonacci here. So that's a key reversal area. So, but either way, it's a break of structure here. We know that price is coming here without any doubt. But entering here using entry variation 1 with your stop loss here and take profit here, it won't give you a good risk reward. So what do? Patiently wait for what? Entry variation 2. We'll bring our Fibonacci from the low here to the high point here, and allow prices to come to what? 61.8. At 61.8, what will you do? You buy pinpoint at 61.8, put your stop loss at the low of about 47 pips, then buy to the top at this point of about what? 129 pips. Okay, so this is definitely a very good risk reward opportunity. Okay, this should give you like a 1:2 plus risk reward. Okay, so that is within the context of those smaller fractals. Now, eventually, what did prices do? Prices broke into the other fractal. So within the context of this, like I said, all of these are smaller fractals. Within the context, the prices what? Broke into the other fractal. This was the candlestick that broke into the other fractal. Let's identify them pinpoints. If we want, we can drop an horizontal line here at the last lower high here. You can see the clear break of structure at this point. If we go onto the line charts, remember this is what? Exhaustion. All of these are push. This is the clear break of structure that happened at this point. So prices broke into another fractal. So a break into this fractal, we know that what? Here's the take profits. But now a break into this fractal, if you have to buy here with your stop loss at the low here, it won't make sense because your take profit is here. So instead, what do? You just simply wait for what? For prices to give you what? An entry variation 2. Okay, you bring your Fibonacci from the lowest point here to the highest point of the rejection right here. okay, and allow prices to give you what? Your 61.8 entry. Okay, allow prices to give you your 61.8 entry. And what? You can be able to get a buy position at this point, or at this point when prices came to 61.8. And remember that all of these are push. Sorry. Remember that what? All of these are push. Prices came back to 61.8. So now at 61.8, now is a good opportunity to buy. Pinpoint at 61.8, put your stop loss at the low of about 58 pips, and buy to the 100.0 of about 105 pips. This one now, it's also a 1:2 risk reward. These were our two opportunities last week. And what? Buy to take profits. So now, what did prices do now? Price is done with all of those smaller opportunities, and it now opens another opportunity to us this week now. That is what? Okay, this time around, prices are broken into this bigger fractal now. Okay, all of these are now break in the eye of this bigger fractal. Okay, so now the break has happened. We know that what? Entering using entry variation 1 again, it doesn't benefit us because it's not a good risk reward. Okay, so what are we going to do again? We are going to what? Allow prices to come back to 61.8. So bring our Fibonacci as usual from the lowest point to the highest point of the rejection. So that will now be from here to the top. Okay, from here to the top. Allow prices to come to 61.8. And what do you do when prices come to 61.8? Buy pinpoint at 61.8 using entry variation 2. Buy pinpoint, put your stop loss at the low, and buy to what? The highest point of the broken fractal here at 100.0, since we are trading the direction of the trend. Okay, so I'm sure we can see how beautiful trading within fractals are, and how many opportunities trading within fractals can give us. So those were the two opportunities last week. This week we'll wait on the first opportunity, which is what? Allow prices to come back to 61.8, and at 61.8 we are able to buy pinpoints for using what? Entry variation 2. We're able to buy pinpoints to the take profit at the top. Go over GBPUSD and let's see what's going on there. I don't trade GBPUSD again, but just for educational purposes, that's why I'm going over GBPUSD. Okay, so as usual, just like we did on GBPJPY, you're gonna see the similarity in our breakdown, because we follow what? A defined system. Okay, so that's why you see that our trading system are defined. Okay, sometimes when you're watching my video, if you have a book, if you have a pen, you can write down each steps. Of course I always send the recording, but it's okay to also write down the steps. Okay, so you're gonna write, okay, this is what I did first. I start from the monthly time frame. You write it down. Secondly, identify the real-time points. Thirdly, identify the structures that took prices there. Fourthly, identify the fractal, then take it to the weekly. So if you have a pen, if you have a book, I always advise that it's okay to bring them to class and write down this stepwise process. How I do this things in stepwise process. And if you want, you can print it out and put it beside you, so that anytime you are trading, you are going to follow that stepwise process. Okay, this is the first thing. Start from the monthly time frame. Identify this one. Take it to the weekly. Identify the opportunities within fractals. Take it to the daily. Take it to the 30 minutes for a real-time trade opportunity. So either way, just follow the stepwise process, like I said. Okay, so as usual, the first thing we are going to do is start from the monthly time frame and identify the real-time area, the point where price is at. So this is where price is at. So the next thing is understand the story that took prices to this point. What is the story? The story we're talking about is the structures. Okay, and at this point we can see that on the monthly time frame, the structures I can see are push exhaustion of lower highs and lower lows. Then prices came, made the push. Then at this point here, this is the real-time point where price is currently trading at. Okay, so at this real-time point here, I brought my Fibonacci out from the high to the low to see that its price is trading at an interesting point. Okay, one thing is clear. I can see that price is trading at a 61.8. Okay, and I know that prices is clearly on lower highs and lower lows. This means that there is a probability that prices might establish this as a lower high, since price is on clear lower highs. Price must establish that as a lower high, you know, and continue in its normal directions of what? Of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so that probability is there. Okay, so but one thing is clear, this is on the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame is price is clearly bearish on the monthly time frame. And I know that what? Price is at a key reversal area, and this key reversal area might reject prices. Okay, that is just the information I get here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take the information to the weekly time frame and see what is going on with prices on the weekly time frame. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, I'm going to focus on this area on the weekly time frame to understand, because price is at 61.8, which is here. So try to understand the information. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, this is what? Push, exhaustion. Within the context of these fractals, this is the last higher low here. So this is what? Small fractals, push, exhaustion, push, clear break of structure has happened at this point. Okay, so after the clear break of structure, instead of price heading to take profit directly, since what? The monthly in this case has shown us that what? Price is clearly bearish. Okay, so instead of prices heading to take profit straight up, what do prices do? Prices went for a retest. Okay, so what is that retest? The retest is just a simple what? Break of structure and 61.8 retest. Okay, so prices what? Broke structure right here. We've seen a break of a higher low right here. This means that what? We've known from the monthly time frame that price is bearish. This means that price is coming here. But instead of prices heading here straight up, price decided that what? Okay, after the break of structure, I'll go for what? A 61.8 retest. Okay, before heading down. Okay, so now that I understand that, and I can see that price is trading around the 61.8 zone. So I know that what? 61.8 is a key reversal area. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this information from here to here, and what? Take this information to the 4-hour time frame and look for what? A break of the bullish structure. Okay, a break of the bullish structure. I'm going to sell to what? 100.0 of the broken fractal. And if there's a retracement, I'll buy to 61.8 of the broken fractal. Okay, so like we said, this structure from here now is where we have our business on the weekly time frame. This is the last higher low. A clear break of structure has happened. But as we know, sometimes when break of structure happens, prices goes back for a natural 61-point retracement, which is what is currently happening here. And we know that what? From the retracement, price will head directly to take profit. Okay, so my job now is to go and analyze this retracement, and what? A break of any of the bullish structure there, I will sell to what? To the 100.0 of the broken fractal. So I will take this zone here to the daily time frame. Okay, so on the daily time frame, this is the zone, this is the low point, this is the high point that we just identified. Okay, so on the daily time frame, let's just do a literal breakdown of the structures. This is what? Push, exhaustion, push, exhaustion. Then overall, all of these are push, all these noises, they are eventually push, exhaustion, then prices went to establish an higher high. Okay, so let's identify it again. This is push, exhaustion, prices came again, push, exhaustion. Then overall, all of these noises are push, exhaustion, then price went to establish an higher high here. So on the daily is still bullish, okay, but the monthly and the weekly are the determinants of the overall trend of prices. Okay, sometimes the daily assists, but the monthly and the weekly are the overall determinants of the trend of prices. Okay, so fine, the daily here is bullish, but we know that what the monthly and weekly has shown us that what price is currently at very key reversal area at 61.8, and we know that what if we are selling to the 100.0 of the broken fractal, while if we are buying a retracement to 61.8. So within the context of these fractals, is the last higher low. Within the context of this fractal, eventually when prices breaks here, what will we do? We'll sell to 100.0 of the broken fractal. But right now, our current trade opportunity is between what? Is between this high and this point. So that means that what our current trade opportunity are going to be what? Within smaller fractals. So we are going to take this level here to the 4 hours time frame to look for an opportunity within smaller fractals. Okay, so we'll take to the 4 hours time frame. On the 4 hours time frame, this is the low that we just identified, and this is the high right here. Okay, so within the context of this fractal, this is what? Overall, this is what? Push, exhaustion. Within the context of these fractals, this is the last higher low here. Okay, so that means that what? Eventually, when price breaks this last higher low, we'll sell to the 100.0 of the broken fractal. But right now, prices is trading within smaller fractals. Okay, price is trading within smaller fractals. A break of any of the fractal here, our maximum is here. Okay, to the 100.0 of the broken fractal. Okay, so like we said, this is what push exhaustion. This is the last higher low. An higher low is only established when there is an what higher high. So within the context of this fractals, this is the last higher low, and what this is low, this is high. Okay, so our current tradable area is going to be between this place here within the context of smaller fractals. So we are going to take this zone here to the 1 hour time frame. If you want, you can take it to the 30 minutes time frame also, as those are our entry time frames. Okay, so we are going to take this zone here and this zone and look for an opportunity within the context of smaller fractals. Okay, so we'll take to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so in the 1 hour time frame now, the structure that we just identified, this is it. This is the low point here, and this is the high point of the structure that we just chopped from the 4 hours time frame. Okay, so within the context of fractals, these are what push exhaustion, smaller fractal, price established what bigger fractal. So within the context of this fractal, this is the last higher low, because after this fractal, there is no exhaustion that has this amount in pips to any of the ones in front. If you want, we can measure it. You know, this is the peak. This is the peak. This is the trough. This is what 45 pips. If you look at the exhaustions in front, this is 39 pips. If you look at the exhaustion in front again, if you look at the exhaustion right here, this is 25 pips. So all the exhaustions in front are smaller fractals. So this is push exhaustion within the context of big fractals. Push exhaustion. This is the last higher low of that fractal. Then price started with smaller fractals of what push exhaustion. Then price established a bigger fractal here, push exhaustion. But within the context of this fractal, this higher low here, there's no higher low in front that has that amount in pips. If you want, you can measure it. Okay, from the top to the bottom, this is what about 40 pips. All these ones are baby fractals, about 18 pips. All these ones are baby fractals, about what about probably 18 pips or 19 pips also. So either ways, this is what push exhaustion, push exhaustion. So within the context of these fractals, this is the last higher low within the context of that fractal. This means that what a break of this fractal will send it here. This is the maximum. A break of this fractal will send it here. So this is how to chop prices in fractals. So now within the context of smaller fractals, prices made what push exhaustion, and this is what this is the last higher low right here. Then prices made the push, then prices broke structure right here. So now a break of this structure, like we know, we send prices to what 100.0 of the broken fractal. So price has already exceeded that opportunity. Okay, break of structure right here. Prices did not give us entry variation 2, only entry variation 1. This means when the break of structure happened here, the only thing you can do is what sell, put your stop loss at the high, and sell to this level here. And if price did not give you a risk reward, a good risk reward, what do? You let the opportunity go and you wait for a next trade opportunity. But in the context of this opportunity, this is the maximum here at 100.0 of the broken fractal. But this was the fractal that was broken. Now, when price breaks into this next opportunity, this is the 100.0. When price breaks into this next opportunity, you have to what sell using what either of our entry variations. You can sell here, put your stop loss here, and exit here. Of course, that's not a good risk reward. So what are we going to do? We'll just simply wait for what entry variation 2. Bring our Fibonacci from here to here. Sell pinpoint at 61 points, put your stop loss at the low, and make some good risk reward by just having a little patience and allowing prices to come back to 61.8. Okay, so this is our opportunity within that fractal. So right now, price has exceeded that, gotten to 100.0. So what are we going to wait for? At this point, we'll wait for two things. One, either prices breaks into a new fractal. When price breaks into a new fractal, then we'll wait for entry variation 2 to sell to this place. What is entry variation 2? Like I said, allow price to go to 61.8, sell pinpoint at 61 points, put your stop loss at the high, sell to 100.0 of the broken fractal. So one, we wait for prices to break this. Two, price is at 100.0. Price can decide that okay, this 100.0, I want to turn it to a reversal area. So what are we going to do in that case? We are going to buy to to the 61.8 of the broken fractal. So it's going to be identify the structures from here to 100.0 here, which is a reversal area. We identify the structures together. Okay, so the structures are push exhaustion. Within the context of these fractals, this is the last lower high. That means that what a break of this fractal, what will I do? I'll do my Fibonacci from here to here and buy to what? The 61.8 at maximum. So I can buy to 61 point. That means that what I can buy here for my stop loss here, entry variation 1, entry variation 2. You know, either ways. Okay, so now, but within the context of smaller fractals, there might be an opportunity within the context of smaller fractals. Okay, remember that what within the context of bigger fractals, this is what? Push, exhaustion. This is the last lower high here. But within the context of smaller fractals, there could be an opportunity here, which is what? Prices came overall, made the push here, made the exhaustion here, then prices made this low here. Maybe eventually prices would break this. If price breaks the structure, what we do? Buy to what? The 61.8 of the broken fractal. In fact, what we are going to do is that let's take this small opportunity here. Let's take it to the 30 minutes time frame to see if we'll see clearer structures there. Okay, so on the 30 minutes time frame, this is the low and this is the high and this is the low. So overall, the structures are push. Overall, the structures are push, exhaustion. This is the last lower high here. Then all these are push, a break of structure here. What I'm going to do, we'll buy to what? The 61.8 of the broken fractal. Okay, in that case, we'll bring our Fibonacci from the high to the low and buy to what? A break of this high here. This push, exhaustion, push, a break of this high here. What do you do? Buy to what? The 61.8 of the broken fractal with your stop loss here, using entry variation 1, or what? Allow price to give you an entry variation 2 opportunity, then buy to the 61.8. Of course, like I always say, if there is a support zone around the 50.0, it should be watched out for, because that can send prices the other way. Okay, so that's why if I'm trading a retracement, I watch out for what? For the 50.0. We always say that what? Look left. If you see any strong area of support or resistance around the 50.0, it's better to exit your trade there, because that area can send prices back down into the other direction. Okay, so that is our opportunity within that fractal. Then if prices now decides to what? To exit this fractal, we'll wait for prices to break into the new fractal. Then when price breaks into the new fractal, that will now give us what? A new trade opportunity to what? To buy when prices breaks into that fractal. Okay, sorry. Let's go back to the 1 hour just to see it a bit smaller. When prices now breaks into this fractal, that will now give us what? An opportunity to buy to 61.8. We'll bring our Fibonacci from the high point to the low point, buy to 61.8. So when the break of structure happens here, when the break of structure happens here, we can see that 61.8 is already here. So that means that what? There won't be any trade opportunity. Okay, so even if prices goes above, there's no trade opportunity, because that is the 61.8 is the maximum we're allowed to go within the context of any fractal.